few moments. If you have ever stepped on coexist in the same area. Using scenes based on the kind of joyful, and somehow turn them into unforgettable moments. As I begin my story, coffee, watching the day. The morning begins with for the sake of our story. The universe aligns itself around itself. His bag and dusts his one sheet tilts forward, another tilts back, and suddenly cards to control, spinning around slowly. Like oversized feathers.
I can't get it. I can't get it. What the hell is that? I don't know this.
While these small events unfold, a few workers begin by stretching it far across an open reach, and then one process becomes a moment of comedy and unexpected stuff happens. Space is a flawless blend of just witnessed a magic trick design. In mid-morning, the energy on the it's about a recipe that tried and failed. Toolbox that seems heavier. Eventually grab the box containing every tool. The moment he lifts it, life choices. But he keeps motion from where he stands. Believing his flexibility is far greater than he cannot reach the tool, but instead he suddenly closer. Of course. Theo then walks quietly back down to the taps themselves when the reactions of the they never get upset or discouraged. Instead, move on. He sets them in.
Al frío, al calor, a todo tipo de clima.
Just enough to move it. Paper glides downward and goes directly. Just with his pocket and returns. I shift my materials for the next step. Among them is who has always been known for his ability to
Oh my god, Walter!
today, his goal is to roll slightly stuck, not entirely. Carefully on the ground and begins pushing the seems smooth. But a little to the left. Ensuring it stays in. As it circles, it's while also instead of moving forward, it wobbles in place, as though contemplating whether it should proceed. Oliver pauses, places both hands on his hips, and takes a deep breath. He then crouches, examines the roll and sees and whispers something to it. No one can hear what he says, whatever it is. The roll must appreciate his sincerity, because it suddenly begins to move forward again, surprising Oliver raises his eyebrows, impressed with his own appreciation skills, and continues Not far from Oliver, another scene unfolds. This time, it involves two workers named Mark and Julian who are assembling a set. At least in theory, they have a habit of catching the breeze. Mark goes into the everything goes smoothly until a small gust passes through the door. The man is holding against Mark's shoulder. Mark straightens it, but Julian steadies it, but then unsure which worker it prefers. Their reactions remain composed. Taps make them look like participants in the Seeing this, the seems undecided about its when they finish, focuses intensely on a purpose. His precise, delicate, and overly calculated. The
Có đây
worker
không?
navigates the path resembles a man
Nhang luôn
trying to cross a pond filled with imaginary ponds that might actually be almost too big. His co-workers watch him from a distance, puzzled by his careful pace. When he reaches the destination safely, he realizes that the bucket, of course, remains exactly as calm as it was the entire time. Across the site, one of the more artistic workers, a man named Sam, is preparing to repaint the same temporary. His something unusual happens. A bird passes over him. It startles someone ever so slightly. His hand twitches. Artistic pride. He nods as if deciding the swirl adds character to the market. The worker walks by, looks at the swirl, and asks if it was intentional. Samuel simply says, in Thomas Chapter, that every creation deserves its own personality. The workers gather around different shaded areas of the site, which take one worker opens his actual table and hands himself on the instead of he stares at every polite method adjusting its grip.
Ah, the dragon race, come on!
The worker stares at him with admiration. A series of scenes begins with a worker Adrian begins walking across the site with the stride of a man ready to conquer an afternoon of productivity. But halfway one box starts to tilt out. Adrian adjusts slightly, trying to keep both boxes balanced. His concentration
Jump!
it seems but Adrian manages to regain he leans one board begins leaning forward.
Here comes the car. Oh my. Look.
Conversations become more lively with soft hum of distant machinery. Feels like a stage where each word and so the narration goes on. attention drifts to a worker named Henry, a thoughtful man who always believes in double-checking even the smallest detail. Today, his mission involves locating seals and it is a job many would complete quickly, but Henry prefers precision. He places the first marker, steps back, observes it closely, and then adjusts it by a fraction of an inch. Satisfied, he places the second marker, then steps back again, analyzing the line as it moves the shadow cast by a nearby structure makes it uncertain. Henry tilts his head illusion is playing tricks on him. So slightly that even the person standing beside him would struggle to notice the difference. When he finally steps back and surveys his work, he nods with the kind of satisfaction usually reserved for completing his work. One of his co-workers walks by and says they look excellent. Henry accepts the compliment as though he just finished. Next stage of the cycle. Stacking a set of boards into a new pile. Slightly, almost playfully. Nolan notices the shift, straightens the board again, and stands still for a moment to see if the breeze will return. It does. The board moves like the funniest thing, as though refusing to settle. The next scene unfolds near a shaded area where two workers, Leonard and Mason, are measuring the section of the site. Leonard spots with chalk. Pulls the tape a bit too enthusiastically. The tape snaps back slightly and runs. Leonard maintains his composure. His eyebrows to notice the micro-expression of surprise. Leonard unrolls the tape again, this time with a gentle touch, and both continue working as though nothing happened. Meanwhile, a worker named Billy is organizing tools on a small table. Arranges them to create a balanced display. He stands back and observes the arrangement with pride. But as he turns to then carefully repositions them once again. He steps away slowly this time, watching the tears out of the corner of his eye to ensure he stays still. Satisfied, as though he has just between himself and the table. Across the center of the two workers discuss a game they watched last night, each reenacting a moment with exaggerated gestures. Another pair debates the best sandwich in the world, speaking of the experts. A few workers despite the labor, the atmosphere is one of shared camaraderie. This is the moment involving a worker who is transporting a small cart filled with parts and materials. The cart has a stable structure, but one of its wheels tends to swivel. Grant begins moving the cart along the straight path, confidently following the foundation. In a few feet, gently off course. technology remains better yet. A short distance away, the worker
Wow.
is in the middle of taking measurements on the board. He bends down, draws a line, steps back, and checks the dimensions. Then he reaches for his pencil, only to realize that he somehow draws the next line, and again the pencil slips out of his fingers and rolls a few inches off. Owen retrieves the pencil, this time holding it carefully. But when he places it on the board momentarily, it rolls away, following the subtle slope of the surface. Instead of frustration, Owen simply moves to himself, then places the pencil inside his shirt pocket so it can no longer escape. With this small victory, he continues his work. As the afternoon stretches into the evenings, the soft golden light begins to overlay the construction scene, adding warmth to the environment. Shadows lengthen, and the light flickers gently as it passes through scaffolding, tools, and structures. This natural shift brings out a sense of one of the next amusing scenes involves a worker named Patrick. He is organizing a bundle of cables, carefully to avoid tangling. His technique but then, as he holds the neatly coiled cable, one end slips free and unwinds just enough to disrupt the symmetry. Patrick pauses, examining the slightly before assessing the measurement. He slowly recoils the loose section and restores the perfect circle within the most security of the bend. He lifts the finished coil with pride, almost expecting a round of applause for his attention. Even though no one sees it, the satisfaction on his face is unmistakable. As I stand narrating these it is a stage filled with countless scenes that reflect humanity, humor, and spirit. Every action, every small accident, every improvised solution richer with each passing hour. And so the day continues. Determined workers, and scenes that narrate themselves through their natural charm. As the late afternoon unfolds, the construction site settles into a steady pace. The natural stream of amusing moments continues as effortlessly as ever. I shift my attention toward a worker named Marcus, who is methodically organizing a set of small markers on a crate. Marcus is known for being often moving with the meticulousness of someone sorting their records. Today, however, Brady is determined to test his patience in the gentlest way possible. He places it precisely into one of the markers. As he moves the sequence is slightly narrower than the rest. He attempts to slide it, marker leans sideways and settles against the edge instead. Marcus tries adjusting his angle. The marker still refuses to sit upright. After several minutes, he spins in He then taps the crate lightly, as if trying to... Marcus sighs softly and rotates the marker. This time, with an air of triumph. Nearby, the next scene develops with a worker named Damien, who is preparing chalk lines in a temporary line. He stretches across the line, pulling it taut with perfect form. When he snaps it against the ground, the line marks cleanly with a satisfying precision. Encouraged, Damien moves on to the next section.